Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The notification buzzed once, soft, almost apologetic, before lighting up my husband's smartwatch on the kitchen counter. Congratulations on your great workout. I frowned. The message glowed against the stainless steel surface, timestamped 5:47 p.m. The same time he'd texted me, still at work, late meeting. The word workout lingered in my head, cold and sour. I stared at the screen, my reflection warped in its glass face. My husband, Daniel, hadn't set foot in a gym for months. He'd cancelled his membership in March, said he preferred running outside when the weather got better. Except he never ran. Not once. A strange chill moved through me, the kind that starts in your stomach and climbs upward until it presses against your throat. I tried to laugh it off. Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe he went for a quick run before work and forgot to mention it. But I knew Daniel. He was meticulous, predictable, even. He'd track everything: calories, steps, heart rate, emails. There were no accidents with him. He came home an hour later, whistling softly, the way he did when he was in a particularly good mood. His hair was slightly damp, his skin flushed, not from a shower, but from exertion. "Hey, babe," he said, dropping his keys into the bowl. "You okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah. Just tired. Long day." He leaned over, kissed my forehead. The smell hit me first, sweet, floral, unfamiliar. Not perfume I owned. Not soap from our bathroom. Something faintly fruity, like cherry blossom or vanilla. "Dinner smells amazing," he said, brushing past me. I hadn't cooked. He paused, sniffed, then laughed. "Guess I'm hungrier than I thought." He disappeared into the shower before I could respond, leaving the air behind him thick with confusion and the soft hum of water through the pipes. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, my chest tight. Every sound from his side of the bed, the even rhythm of his breathing, the occasional sigh, felt like a performance. I turned toward him, searching his face in the dim light. He looked peaceful. Content. I wanted to believe that peace was ours, but the smartwatch image replayed in my mind, over and over, like a glitching screen. By morning, denial had settled like a film over everything. I made breakfast, smiled when he complimented my eggs, listened while he joked about traffic and meetings. It was easier to pretend, easier to believe that the world hadn't shifted beneath me, until the second notification came. "You closed all 3 activity rings. Great job keeping up your streak." He was at the office. Or so he'd said. That afternoon, I decided to test a theory. I texted him, "How's your meeting going?" A full minute passed before the typing bubble appeared. "Still in progress. Might be here a while." At that exact moment, the smartwatch on the counter buzzed again. Another congratulation. Another workout complete. Something inside me snapped into clarity. It wasn't a glitch. It was a pattern. I'd seen those notifications before, on his old gym days. The watch synced automatically with his fitness tracker, recording heart rate, movement, duration. If I opened the health app, I could see the map of his runs. My hands trembled as I tapped through the screens. The map appeared, lines tracing movement across the city. Except the endpoint wasn't a park or gym. It was an address. A quiet cul-de-sac in Willow Heights. And the name attached to the Wi-Fi network there? Emily's home. Emily. A name that fell like a whisper through the air. His coworker. The one he'd mentioned months ago, in passing. "She's great with clients. Married too. Don't worry." I told myself I was overreacting, that it couldn't mean what I thought, that maybe he'd visited her for work, or dropped something off. But the app showed otherwise. The workouts happened 3 times that week, each lasting about an hour, heart rate peaking halfway through. I felt sick. Not the kind of sickness you can soothe. This one rooted deep, curling around my ribs like wire. That evening, I waited. Daniel came home again, cheerful, freshly showered, carrying the same faint trace of that scent. I didn't confront him right away. Instead, I played along. I asked about his day, smiled where appropriate, tucked my doubts behind every nod. I needed time. Proof. Control. Do you still use your smartwatch for workouts? I asked casually. He blinked. Sometimes. Why? Just curious. He shrugged. Trying to stay in shape. You know how it is. I almost laughed. I do. That night, when he fell asleep, I picked up his phone. The passcode hadn't changed. My heart hammered so hard I thought it might wake him. No texts. No calls. He was clean. Almost too clean. But when I checked the deleted messages folder, I found them. Threads erased but not yet overwritten. Fragments of conversations. Missed you today. Next time, maybe longer. Same time Thursday. And a photo, just her hand on his chest, a glint of his wedding ring in the corner. I didn't cry right away. Instead, I sat on the edge of the bed, the silence pressing in. The lamp cast a faint golden circle across the floor, and Daniel's shadow fell across it, long and peaceful. For years, I'd loved him with an almost naive certainty, believed in his loyalty, his steadiness, his quiet affection. And now, all of it, our laughter, our plans, our mornings, had been reduced to a series of data points on a fitness app. I wanted to scream, to wake him, to demand why. But another part of me, the part still clinging to the illusion, hesitated. What if there was a reason? A misunderstanding? What if he confessed and promised it meant nothing? Would I forgive him? Could I? The next day, I told him I was meeting a friend for coffee. Instead, I drove to Willow Heights. The houses there were quiet, uniform, too perfect. I parked a few houses down, my hands gripping the wheel until my knuckles whitened. At 5:42 p.m., Daniel's car turned the corner. He parked outside Emily's house, checked his reflection, and smiled. That smile, warm, familiar, meant for me, now belonged to someone else. I watched him knock once before the door opened. She appeared, blonde hair loose, eyes soft. He leaned in and kissed her. Not a cautious kiss. A practiced one. The sound that escaped me wasn't quite a sob. It was smaller, broken. I didn't get out of the car. I didn't need to. I already knew the truth. That night, when he came home, I was waiting at the kitchen table. The smartwatch sat in front of me, face down. How was your workout? I asked quietly. He froze. Just for a second. But it was enough. I don't know what you mean. I turned the watch over. The screen lit up, pulsing softly. Emily's address, I said. That's where you exercise, right? He said nothing. Silence expanded between us, vast and heavy. When he finally spoke, his voice was barely above a whisper. It wasn't supposed to happen. I laughed, sharp and humorless. But it did. He opened his mouth again, then stopped. There was nothing left to say. Later that night, when he slept, fitful, restless, I took the smartwatch and synced it to my phone. Then I strapped it to my wrist. The next morning, when I left for a long walk by the river, it buzzed softly. Congratulations on your great workout. I smiled through the ache. This time, it was real.